Session 22. Origins and related words. 1. How to tickle. Titillate comes from a Latin verb meaning to tickle, and may be used both literally and figuratively. That is, literally, you can titillate by gentle touches in strategic places. You are then causing an actual, and always very pleasant, physical sensation. Or you can, figuratively, titillate people, or their minds, fancies, palates, and this is the more common use of the word, by charm, brilliance, wit, promises, or in any other way your imagination can conceive. Titillation has the added meaning of light sexual stimulation. Note that both noun and verb are spelled with a double I, not a double T. 2. How to flatter. A compliment is a pleasant and courteous expression of praise. Flattery is stronger than a compliment and often considered insincere. Adulation is flattery and worship carried to an excessive, ridiculous degree. There are often public figures, entertainers, musicians, government officials, etc., who receive widespread adulation, but those not in the public eye can also be adulated, as a teacher by students, a wife by husband, and vice versa, a doctor by patients, and so on. The derivation is from a Latin verb meaning to fawn upon. The adjective adulatory ends in -ori, a suffix we are meeting for the first time in these pages. Other adjective suffixes, al, ic, ical, us. 3. Ways of writing. Proscribe, to forbid, is commonly used for medical, religious, or legal prohibitions. A doctor prescribes a food, drug, or activity that might prove harmful to the patient. The church prescribes, or announces a proscription against such activities as may harm its parishioners. The law prescribes behavior detrimental to the public welfare. Generally, one might concede, prescribed activities are the most pleasant ones, as Alexander Woollcott once remarked, if something is pleasurable, it's sure to be either immoral, illegal, or fattening. The derivation is the prefix pro before, plus scribo, scriptus, to write. In ancient Roman times, a man's name was written on a public bulletin board if he had committed some crime for which his property or life was to be forfeited. Roman citizens in good standing would thereby know to avoid him. In a similar sense, the doctor writes down those foods or activities that are likely to commit crimes against the patient's health. In that way the patient knows to avoid them. Scribo, scriptus is the building block of scores of common English words: scribe, scribble, prescribe, describe, subscribe, script, the scriptures, manuscript, typescript, etc. Describe uses the prefix to down, to describe is, etymologically, to write down about. Manuscript, combining manus, hand, as in manual labor, with scriptus, is something handwritten. The word was coined before the invention of the typewriter. The scriptures are holy writings. To subscribe, as to a magazine, is to write one's name under an order or contract, sub-under, as in subway, subsurface, etc. To subscribe to a philosophy or a principle is figuratively to write one's name under the statement of such philosophy or principle. To inscribe is to write in or into a book, for example, or metal or stone. A postscript is something written after, Latin post, after, the main part is finished. Note how scribe verbs change to nouns and adjectives. Verb noun adjective prescribe prescription prescriptive subscribe subscription subscriptive. Can you follow the pattern? Describe inscribe proscribe. 4. It's obvious you are familiar with the word via, by way of, which is from the Latin word for road. The Via Appia was one of the famous highways of ancient Roman times. When something is obvious, etymologically it is right there in the middle of the road where no one can fail to see it, hence, easily seen, not hidden, conspicuous. And if you meet an obstacle in the road and dispose of it forthwith, you are doing what obviate says. Thus, if you review your work daily in some college subject, frenzied cramming at the end of the semester will be obviated. A large and steady income obviates fears of financial insecurity. Leaving for work early will obviate worry about being late. To obviate, then, is to make unnecessary, to do away with, to prevent by taking effective measures or steps against, an occurrence, a feeling, a requirement, etc. The noun is obviation. Surprisingly, via, road, is the root in the English word trivial, trig-3. Where three roads intersect, you are likely to find busy traffic, lots of people, in short a fairly public place, so you are not going to talk of important or confidential matters, lest you be overheard. You will, instead, talk of trivial things, whatever is unimportant, without great significance. You will confine your conversation to trivialities or to trivia, also a plural noun, insignificant trifles. 5. War militate derives from militus, one of the forms of the Latin noun meaning soldier or fighting man. If something militates against you, it fights against you, i.e., works to your disadvantage. Thus, your timidity may militate against your keeping your friends. Militate is always followed by the preposition against and, like obviate, never takes a personal subject. You don't militate against anyone, but some habit, action, tendency, etc. militates against someone or something. The adjective militant comes from the same root. A militant reformer is one who fights for reforms. A militant campaign is one waged aggressively and with determination. The noun is militancy, and militant is also a noun for the person. Sally is a militant in the women's liberation movement. Military and militia also have their origin in militus. 6. First, the bad news built on Latin malus, bad, evil. To malign is to speak evil about, to defame, to slander. Malign is also an adjective meaning bad, harmful, evil, hateful, as in the malign influence of his unconscious will to fail. Another adjective form is malignant, as in a malignant glance, i.e., one showing deep hatred, or a malignant growth, i.e., one that is cancerous, bad. The noun of malignant is malignancy, which, medically, is a cancerous growth, or, generally, the condition, state, or attitude of harmfulness, hatefulness, evil intent, etc. The noun form of the adjective malign is malignity. Observe how we can construct English words by combining malus with other Latin roots. Add the root dico, dictus, to say or tell, to form malediction, a curse, i.e., an evil saying. Adjective, maledictory. Add the root volo, to wish, to will, or to be willing, and we can construct the adjective malevolent, wishing evil or harm, a malevolent glance, attitude, feeling, etc. The noun is malevolence. Add the root facio, factus, to do or make, also spelled, in English words, factus, or, as a verb ending, fy, to form the adjective maleficent, doing harm or evil, or causing hurt, maleficent acts, deeds, behavior. Can you figure out and pronounce the noun form of maleficent? Underscore. A malefactor is a wrongdoer, an evildoer, a criminal. A malefactor commits a malefaction, a crime, an evil deed. French is a Romance language, that is, a language based on Roman or Latin, as are, also, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and Romanian, and so Latin malus became French mal, bad, the source of maladroit, clumsy, bungling, awkward, unskillful, etymologically, having a bad right hand. See adroit, Chapter 3. The noun is maladroitness. Also from French mal, malaise, an indefinite feeling of bodily discomfort, as in a mild illness, or as a symptom preceding an illness, etymologically, bad ease, just as disease, dis-ease, is lack of ease. Other common words that you are familiar with also spring from Latin malus, malicious, malice, malady, and the same malus functions as a prefix in words like maladjusted, malcontent, malpractice, malnutrition, etc., all with the connotation of badness. And what's the good news? See Session 23. Review of etymology prefix, root, suffix meaning 1. Ori adjective suffix 2. Scribo, scriptus to write 3. De down 4. Manus hand 5. Sub under 6. In, into 7. Post after 8. Via road 9. Try 310. Militus soldier 11. Malus, bad, evil 12. Dico, dictus to say, tell 13. Volo, to wish 14. Facio, fec-fy, to do, make 15. Ints, ansi noun suffix.